Did
you just fall into a box of toys?
No, I just took the lid off of the box of toys and everything slid to the side.
The cruelest of fates.
While trying to find a mini-con. Oh, hi, Panhandler. He'll do.
He's got the best name.
Alright. Are we ready to start?
Yes.
Sure.
Alright.
Yep.
Hello, and welcome to Stasis Pod, the Unicron Trilogy podcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Jen.
I'm Alex.
And I'm David.
And yes, today, after, remember we did Robots in Disguise last week, and so we continue our one episode per series journey through the dubbed anime series of the early 2000s. Starting with, not starting with, because we started last week.
Continuing with
this week's episode of Armada Chase.
Oh.
Sadly,
Hello, can you go down low? What above? I don't even know what I was referencing.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, unlike Beast Machines and its unreasonably pretentious episode titles, all of Armada's episodes just had single word titles, some of which made more sense than others.
With one exception, the last episode was called Mortal Kombat.
It's a proper one.
That's not a name worth breaking a trend over.
Especially since they didn't even use the K in combat.
Oh, why? Why would you even?
I mean, probably because they'd get sued by Konami? Acclaim?
Acclaim, yeah. And Acclaim's kind of gone through rights hell since they've gone out of business. So.
We'll just say they were going to be sued by Shao Kahn.
Ha. Fair enough. Well, then that's what I mean. It's why do the pun at all if you can't do it properly?
Oh, and actually, I was mistaken because episode 21 is called Decisive Battle.
Oh, okay.
And yet the series went on for another twice as many episodes.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't that decisive.
It decided some things, but, not everything.
Oh, and actually, the first episode was called First Encounter.
Okay, so your first and middle and last episodes have odd names? That's... Sure. Whatever.
I mean, is it possible that these were all translated from Japanese titles, so is it possible that there's one Japanese word that means decisive battle?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, there you go.
That's really weird because most Japanese episode titles of anything are like, life can be sacrificed for peace on Earth.
Yeah, they're like a half a haiku.
Yeah, there are a lot more exclamation points.
I mean, clearly nobody was spending much time on this series.
Decisive Battle is even weirder because the episode's Japanese title is Kizashi, which means omen.
Oh.
Okay. That's not a decisive battle. That's a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
And often the titles were not precisely translated from Japanese. For instance, the episode Jungle, which clearly takes place in a forest.
I mean, if you live in the city, that's just as good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a tropical element to this. This is a coniferous forest.
And the Japanese episode's title is Namori, meaning protection, as spelled in the kanji for the show. So, yeah, they're just making shit up.
Oh.
It's basically they went on one of these freelance writing sites and they were like, we need someone to write titles for episodes, but we only want to pay for one word per episode. So that the entire project is going to cost us like $5.
Yeah, this series in general is kind of low budget.
Okay, well, yeah, in some ways, but well, next episode, yeah.
This is low budget. The next series was, I believe, no budget.
Yes.
This series is Roger Corman. The next series is Ed Wood.
Well, It doesn't help that Armada actually aired with some episodes with, and this is apparently a trend that anime has continued to the current day. But was fairly new then, where it airs with animation that's not quite the finalized animation.
That is and to a degree, it's been going on forever. The thing now is just that there's more of an emphasis on putting out the DVDs, and you're selling those, so you might clean them up more than, well, you didn't have time to finish some shit for TV.
Yeah,
like,
especially because in Japan, a 3-episode Blu-ray costs 1 kidney, so, you know.
Yes. 3 episodes, that's a luxury.
Yeah, that's a special one.
There's also that this was airing at the same time as or before the Japanese airings in the US. So part of the animation might also be that just, we can give them the partially finished stuff. It's just the American airing. It doesn't matter. The real one's going to show in Japan in a few weeks. We'll finish it up by then.
Yeah. I will say that one thing that Armada definitely had over Robots in Disguise was the opening sequence, which is just like David Kaye doing a not Megatron voice, doing some narration about what the series is about, rather than Transformers.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a modified instrumental version of the original theme, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah,
kind of like a late 90s, early 2000s rock and roll take to Lion's 80s take in the movie.
Yeah. Compared to what we're going to get in the next few episodes, this is nice.
Yeah.
And this was also the first Transformer show to air on Cartoon Network.
Which also helped contribute to some of the problems, because Cartoon Network
apparently they wanted it, like, yesterday.
Yeah, and then they shoveled it on at like 6:30 in the morning, and it didn't work out as well as anyone had hoped.
Is that a bad time slot? Are kids up at 6 in the morning now? I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't remember being up that early to watch cartoons as a kid.
I mean, I remember during the 4th season of Transformers, such as it was, in the Tommy Kennedy years, getting up at 5:30 to watch it. And sitting directly in front of the television so I didn't wake everyone else in the house up. But yeah, I mean, and I was like 9, so.
I don't even know what time kids go to school anymore. I'm old.
Yeah, I know that I had to be in class at high school at like 7:30, but that was insane, and
good lord.
Everyone else, it was.
That's what happened to me too.
Basically, my high school years consisted primarily of intense sleep deprivation. It was not good.
Yikes.
But all the lower grades, like high school started first.
Oh yeah,
so
high school starts first because they need to send the buses back around to pick up all the middle school kids, and then back around again to pick up all the grade school kids.
Whereas apparently sleep researchers would tell you that you should actually be doing it the other way around, because teenagers naturally sleep later than small children, but 20 years ago no one cared, and they also still do not care.
Yep. There were some times when they didn't shovel the new episodes of this on at 6:30 in the morning or whenever, when they would dump like 20 episodes at once in a marathon on a day when nobody was watching TV because they were out doing a barbecue on Memorial Day or something.
Yeah, there was that too.
But anyway, this unlike Robots in Disguise, this was dubbed in Canada by, I think, the Ocean Group.
Yes, well.
And that means a lot of Beast Wars actors, because this is Vancouver.
Yep. Yay. And occasionally some crossover with other various things that were, I mean, they were doing, that was that before Funimation started, or was that just after? I think that was just after Funimation started, but they hadn't gotten the foothold that they have now.
I think
so at the time, like, all the Gundam shows were being translated by that, production company. Just about anything that you would see show up on, like, Toonami was being translated by Ocean Group. Also early Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
So, as we mentioned before with Jetstorm.
Well, yeah, that was back in the Beast Wars era when they were Dragon Ball.
But yeah, it's
Dragon Ball
still the same voice group, but they actually, were they Ocean Group when they were doing Beast Wars, or is it just that those people ended up?
It was,
I don't
and
think it's Ocean Group.
It's Ocean Productions Inc., also known as Ocean Group, Ocean Media, or Ocean Studios.
Okay. But
And I think Funimation was hiring them to do the voice work at the time.
Yeah, they did until they moved everything to Texas. Well, I think they still kept some things in Canada, but mostly it was like they set up their own stuff in Texas. And we're not talking about Armada yet, really. So.
Alright, so the setup for this show is it's basically your bog standard, Autobots wage their battles to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, with the exception that both sides are fighting over a third race of teensy transformers known as the Minicons.
I love Minicons.
Minicons are great.
Minicons.
Not so much on the show, but in general.
My Armada headcanons, man. Actually, I think some of my Armada headcanons got, like, low-key slid into some, like, club stuff through sharing them late at night with Greg Sepelak.
God, I can't believe you guys like that stupid Pokeformers bullshit for babies.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kidding. Minicons are fantastic. I love them. But that was an actual fan sentiment at the time.
Oh, yes.
Yes, everyone said, because, of course, Pokemon was the new popular thing, still, to a certain degree. And so everyone was like, and I suppose, yes, the plot aspect of having to find them and capture them and then, using them to power up could be seen as Pokemon-like, but, it was its own thing.
And they come in like these little baseball home plate-shaped pods.
Yes.
Yes. They had a little M symbol on them.
So the Autobots are, of course, led by Optimus Prime, voiced by Gary Chalk. The Decepticons, led by Megatron, voiced by David Kaye.
Yay!
Rounding out the Autobot cast, we've also got Hotshot, who is the Kid Appeal character. He may or may not enjoy jam.
Oh,
He's an idiot.
The brand new paradigm of the Kid Appeal character.
Yes. He's kind of a cheater.
Yeah, he's a Cheeto, but he's the one that solidified, the Kid Appeal character is going to be yellow forever.
Yes.
The Kid Appeal character is going to be yellow and stupid until Energon.
Yes. Yeah. And even then, like, afterwards, Bumblebee weren't they going to have, like, Hotshot in animated, but
I
Hasbro
think so,
was like,
and then the movie came along.
Yeah, and Hasbro was like, no, make it Bumblebee to go with the movie. But,
that was part of their whole, we need to make it like the movie in case the movie is a hit, but we also need to make it not like the movie in case it's not a hit.
Oh, it was a hit. I say pouring rum into my tea. It was a hit.
We've got Red Alert, who is the serious science guy, who kind of looks like RoboCop.
Who is a weird character, but he did give us one of the best Transformers things ever.
Yes,
the toy that would not shut up.
That was a very popular meme at BogCon that year.
Yes. And the Decepticons have Cyclonus, who is a helicopter and is crazy, voiced by Scorponok's Don Brown. Starscream, voiced by Michael Dobson, one of the inescapable Dobson brothers. And Demolisher, who is kind of the token super loyal guy, voiced by Canadian TV mainstay Alvin Sanders.
Aha. I didn't realize he was a Canadian TV mainstay.
If you see a hefty black man on Canadian TV and it's not Blue Mancuma, it's Alvin Sanders.
Okay. Man, I love Blue Mancuma.
And the Decepticons are also joined at the time by Paul Dobson, voiced by Tankor/Obsidian's Paul Dobson.
Wait.
He is the wild card.
You didn't say his character name, you just said Paul Dobson twice.
Oh, Sideways.
Which is understandable, I mean, Paul Dobson.
Yes. And, of course, we've also got a quite extensive human cast.
Yeah, is it the biggest human cast? Not sort of counting G1.
I think there are a ton of humans in Energon, but I've forgotten most of them.
Yeah.
No, there's only like 3.
Okay, maybe it just...
Cybertron, I think, had a bigger human cast.
well, Cybertron only had 3 guys, I think.
No, wasn't it?
And then, at least 2 adults.
Oh, you're right.
The adults.
Yeah.
Prime has a fairly substantial...
Yeah, I guess Prime does have a bunch.
5.
5, yeah.
Well, and once you get into... I don't know, Silas too.
True.
I was thinking for a second, were you including Fowler in that? But yeah, that would be including Fowler. That would be the 3 kids.
Marky Post.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, so our human cast, we have generic white guy Rad.
He wants to tell you about the Transformers.
He does indeed. We have Alexis, who is allegedly Asian.
Yeah, she's Asian in the way that, anime tends to draw characters looking what we identify as Caucasian.
Yeah. And she is bossy anime girl.
Yes.
I was gonna say, she's enough of an anime trope that I'm willing to believe she's Asian.
Yeah. Although apparently she's supposed to be Vietnamese.
I also, I noted that from a modern day perspective, I would say that she is the Hermione of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently in the show Bible, she's the daughter of Vietnamese boat people.
It's very ambitious.
That might be the only time I've ever encountered an anime with a Vietnamese character in it.
Oh.
Wow, that's strange.
And Carlos Lopez, the kind of offensive Hispanic sidekick.
It depends. His voice actor, I'm guessing, actually isn't Hispanic at all.
His name is Matt Hill, and I'm looking at his TF Wiki page, he is super white.
Yeah, so that's offense. I've heard worse.
He could have been better, but it's nice that he's visually, he's not a white passing Latino kid, but yeah. Yeah,
the accent's just a little comedically thick, but it's not Speedy Gonzales horrible.
No, although at one point during this episode he does say, holy guacamole.
I think something that sort of a yardstick that I like is that the other kids don't, note this. It's not something that seems to be significant to the other kids, so that's, I don't know, worth something. Unlike other stereotypes that we will get into momentarily.
And then we've also got, fake
Vulcan
Skull. Billy and Fred.
Yes.
And they started off as the antagonist bully characters, but they just kind of keep hanging around.
They're Bulk and Skull, although one of them is voiced by one of the Eds from Ed, and Eddie.
But yes, the overweight one, of course, is constantly complaining about being hungry and...
Oh man. Talking about his blood sugar.
Yeah. Again, it's been worse, but it's not good.
Oh, it's not good.
Isn't it funny that he's not quite as thin as all the other characters and only ever talks about food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so glad when Hunk and the new Voltron did not really end up being like that past the first episode.
So yeah, get used to those kids because that is most of this episode.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Chase, first aired January 27th, 2003. 13 years ago, which is terrifying.
Ooh.
And it takes place in the year 2010.
Yes.
The far-flung future of 2010.
It is the year 2010.
Which is actually, I wonder if that was intentionally, in Japan, when they translated our season 3, they said it in 2010 and just called it 2010. That there's a logo for it under that name. So I wonder if they were doing that as an intentional sort of thing, or that's just the far-flung future, 2010.
I mean, surely, the Japanese looked at that movie and thought, 2005, well, that's ridiculous. That's way too close. Push it back 5 years.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
So yeah, we start off in the Autobot base, and the kids are just hanging around here because it's better than going to school or hanging around with their parents, I guess.
Going to after-school programs, or trying out for sports.
It's important that they be there in case the Decepticons attack, so they can be ineffectual and get captured.
Yes. And they're also there with their 3 Minicon buddies, the street action team of Highwire, Sureshock, and Grindor, who are respectively a bicycle, a scooter, and a skateboard.
So this is, I think, the point where I thought that Minicons as a concept were like this huge, had all this potential that got wasted, and I think one of the first things that led to their wasting was that they do not have voices. They just beep.
Yeah.
And it's not even like R2-D2 character beeping, it's just they kind of make mumbly beeps in the background and then somebody else says what they said.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a concept in Transformers that I'm sure will never ever come back in a future series we're going to be handling.
I will say it is still handled better than this.
Yes, but...
And while all this is going on, the Autobots are just fighting the Decepticons in the desolate wasteland somewhere.
They really seem to be more like yelling at each other.
And occasionally punching each other.
Standing on different sides of a scenic, Western American desert area and yelling at each other.
Oh, they found one of the deserted wastelands from Dragon Ball Z to fight in.
Give me the Minicons, Megatron. No, you give me the Minicons.
And also to say they're yelling at each other is implying way more passion than either Gary Chuck or David Kay show in their performances.
Yeah, those two are great, and they deserve the paycheck they're collecting here.
Gary Chuck says, "I'll never let you take our Minicons," with so little gravitas and passion that I think it retroactively made Optimus Primal less cool.
You might as well be ordering lunch. No, Gary Chuck probably orders lunch more passionately than that.
Yeah. He's a big guy. I mean, not huge, but big enough he probably has passion for his lunch.
Yeah. So the kids are trying to help out back at the base by doing stuff with the monitors, but unfortunately for them, computers, the internet.
Oh my god!
Viruses.
This computer bullshit. It's.
That's so bad. Welcome to 1995's The Net.
So Alexis knows that
this could use some eye patch Dennis Miller.
It's having a problem because it keeps freezing up, which, I mean, maybe you shouldn't be using Windows ME. But
I think it looks like the installation screen for XP, they actually pulled an installation log file. It mentions the EULA.
Yeah, it does. I will give them credit for that, when it shows a close-up of the screen. Now, the UI of whatever software she's using to talk to Laserbeak, being their little bird robot friend, is, who knows, who even knows where that came from. But when it starts freezing up, they do have a close-up, and it is actually a command line window, which, puts them over such things as I think, Robots in Disguise, the older one had an instance where if you paused it, it was IKEA instructions or something. And the classic instance of the time when Sailor Mercury was turning in a report that was actually the lyrics to Danger Zone. Which is, yes. But yes, this is actually a command line thing that looks it mentions Internet Explorer version 5.
4.
And so, 4 and 5, so it looked like it was an update screen.
Yeah. It says it's loading NT version 5.
Yeah.
So, I actually took a look at it for way too long. I paused it. It just was fascinating. And it's got the thing where it's got the telltale this is happening on a Japanese computer thing where instead of having a backslash for the directory denotations, it has the yen symbol.
Ooh. I wasn't sure what was going on with that, but now I know. Thank you.
And also, she's working on one laptop screen while they have like 9 blank screens above that.
So, Rad brings up what seems to be the point that, so what they're doing involves some sort of communicating with microwaves, but apparently they're linked to the microwave transmitter through the internet, which is like, so is the Autobot base connected to the internet, and then that's just through the internet? Like, why?
Okay, and I'm still recording.
I was talking about internets.
Yes.
Okay, yes, the internets. The internets just went down and are now back up because of a virus.
And the virus is eating their system?
The virus is eating their program, and presumably that's referring to the program that they're using to communicate with Laserbeak. But then it also starts eating their hard drive, which I would note would be where the program was, so that's kind of redundant. And at some point she announces that her startup is totally fried.
And then sparkly things start coming out of the computer?
Yeah,
they start on the screen growing to take over the entire PowerPoint slide. And then it just starts growing outside of the bounds of the monitor.
Yeah. And then it turns in, this continues for like at least a minute or so of them being like, oh, what's going on? And the translators having to figure out what to have people saying for this long. That's just the same thing happening for. And the
amazing drama of panically hitting a power switch over and over again. And failing.
Yes.
A recurring theme in these, in the Unicron trilogy shows is nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also not how viruses or hacking work. But
or
at this
physics.
point, yeah, at this point, I suppose we're dealing with like, I'm going to assume at this point it's fair to say that Sideways is almost like a supernatural Cybertronian entity.
I mean, well, he's clearly a rare breed because he's showing up as rainbow colored, and you only get one of those every 1 in 8,000 Pokeformers.
Oh, the rainbow.
Yes,
more like Pride Ways, am I right?
Yes, when he coalesces into an identifiable form, he's all like glowing rainbow colored, so he just shows up as Gay Pride Sideways. It's pretty great. I want that variant.
But before we get to the rainbows, like, them flipping on and off the switch on the laptop doesn't work. Them hitting switches on the giant monitor where none of the screens are on doesn't work. So they fall back to the ultimate IT workforce solution, hitting thing with metal pipes.
Yes. They start, which was actually an impressive series of still, I think, then reused bits of animation, but there were many lines in those panels.
Oh yeah. Also, while they were smashing the computer panels, they got like yaoi tall proportions.
Yes. It's like another studio just did that segment.
How tall is a human body? Oh, about 10 heads? How long is the torso? About 5? Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
That's fine. That's good.
So the rainbow Sideways starts coming apart. He turns into like a big vortex, and then this sucks the ghosts out of the kids and the minicons and makes them go.
They turn like negative colored.
Yeah.
But then the ghosts come out of the spirits come out of them like normal colored, and then also the minicons, yeah.
Well, yeah, this all seems perfectly normal. Isn't that wasn't this an episode of the X-Files?
Yes, I just watched that episode where, Mulder gets like sucked into virtual reality and Scully ends up roundhouse kicking a bunch of sexy nurses.
This sounds pretty good. I haven't seen that recently, this decade. But
it's written by William Gibson and features a hacker character named Invisigoth.
Oh god, that's the William Gibson episode.
Although I guess this of the era that this aired is more like Digimon.
Yeah, I mean, well, in fact, it's exactly Digimon because they get sucked into the digital world.
They're going digital.
Or as they call it, cyberspace, but yeah, they get sucked into it's actually appropriate that they call it cyberspace because it's literally like space.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and this is appropriate for something related to the doings of a minion of a creature that devours worlds. The sound Lavos from Chrono Trigger makes is what it sounds like when they're getting sucked into the computer.
Oh, yeah, that's what the noise was. You knew it reminded me of something.
So back in the desolate wasteland, Laserbeak, who I guess is controlled or something by the kids, just plummets out of the air, and then Megatron just steps on him. And Laserbeak is the size of a camcorder.
Yeah.
Because he is a camcorder.
That's hard.
Yes. A government cheese orange camcorder.
Yeah, I never saw a camcorder that color.
Well, he was supposed to be, I think, red and black, but he also has a gun mode.
Oh.
And that did not fly.
Yeah.
So he's very orange.
And then Megatron goes back to fighting Optimus Prime and says, "Take this," before throwing a pathetic jab.
Yeah,
It's not even
not
take this, it's just
fight scene.
Take this, thunk.
Like this is worse than a G1. We're just gonna stand on two sides and shoot lasers at each other fight scene. But speaking of things that are worse, here comes Billy and Fred to find that their friends are just zombies, I guess.
Because they have access to the Autobot base.
They apparently do.
Yeah, they do. Because that's totally a thing that should be happening.
Yes. But Fred is mostly worried that he's going to miss lunch because his blood sugar is getting dangerously low, Billy.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
Meanwhile, the kids and the Minicons are floating here in space like this.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Rad insists it's his dream. Carlos and Rad fly around in the background while Alexis actually tries to figure out what the heck's going on.
Yeah. And then Sideways shows up and says, "Hey, you're in cyberspace. I rule this dimension. You can't escape.
You're trapped here for eternity."
Hey.
Which leads to the scene that no one will be seated during, the intense Internet Vespa chase sequence.
Yeah, they are beating the heat to the digi-beat.
Awesome. Yeah, this is where the Minicon forms seem worse. It's like, okay, you got a Vespa, fine, skateboard, got rockets on it, as skateboards do, and you have to pedal the bicycle transformer. It doesn't have its own
might be
pedal.
pedaling for him.
He's clearly pedaling. And
Maybe he's just got his feet on there and it's moving for him.
why don't you take your feet off, stupid? No.
I mean, yeah. But he's not actually tired because he's not really there. It's,
Well, yeah, because they're children breathing in space. Well, space. It's there's a
By
long
the end of the sequence, it's outer space.
yeah,
Yes.
there's a long series of shots, just still images of backgrounds of galaxies and stuff, which admittedly look pretty but are wasting time. You're not animating anything.
no.
You may be giving the background artists more work, but animators are lazy.
And they approach an illusory Cybertron. We get a couple of upcoming toys that you can buy.
They are. I could not tell what the hell they were.
That was Tidal Wave pursued by Jetfire.
Oh, the first one kind of looked like the Galvatron spaceship from Transformers the movie.
Yeah, it also kind of looks like Shockwave,
Yeah, a little bit with the cannon.
which maybe makes sense because he is Shockwave in Japan.
Oh, yeah. Wave.
The wiki says that one of the brightly colored objects is Jetfire in his Cybertronian form, which is drawn as G1 Jetfire.
Oh, that's what threw me off. So it was just a Veritic.
Oh yeah, looking at that, I can see it. And it's vague enough, though, that Harmony Gold is not going to sue.
Okay, I was going to say, was it Skyfire like the cartoon design, but no.
It looks more like the
Veritech?
Classics toy.
And then the other one is Tidal Wave, supposed to be in Cybertronian form, which is just Shockwave, because in Japan, Tidal Wave's name was Shockwave.
Yeah. Sure. That's fine.
Why not?
Yeah, Armada like to throw these completely random, like, meaningless G1 nods in there.
I love the progression of them heading towards Cybertron. First there's just a lens flare, and then one of them describes it as beautiful, the other one says it must be Cybertron for some reason.
Yeah, you could clearly identify Cybertron from just this glowing point on the horizon. What?
I mean, it's not like it's gonna be Mars or anything. No, it's gotta be Cybertron.
Then I guess we're headed to Cybertron, but the real question is, why? This question will not be answered.
Nope.
No.
And then, is that stock art or is that original art for Cybertron here?
I think it's the stock art from the Cybertron that we've seen previously on the show.
Okay.
I think it might have also been in the opening. Yeah, they just pass through it, and then Sideways has Sure Shock in his fist and says, everything, it's an illusion.
Ooh.
But then this gives Alexis the idea, hey, if this is all an illusion, you would just, and if you're in control of this, you would just take our minicons and leave us here to, I don't know, float forever in the vastness of space.
Like you do.
So Sure Shock convinces, I guess, herself, because Sure Shock is technically supposed to be female, but I think they use male pronouns on this show. Sure Shock being the scooter.
Yeah, I think so, but I think
she's also named RC in Japan.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So this somehow makes Sideways' hand into code.
Oh yeah,
Because they're
it
in
just
the internet.
poofs out a piece of binary.
Yeah. The animation, I don't know if I'd call it lazy, but it's clumsy.
Yeah.
It conveys things in the most clunky, unintuitive way.
Yes.
Oh, and also Sideways is Homer Simpson.
How so?
What?
After, Sure Shock escapes from his fist, he goes, "Why, you little..."
Oh yeah. Sideways is this is not his most dignified hour.
No.
Because yes, he's acting like he's all, like this is his thing, it's not his thing. They know it's not his thing.
Yes. It's something that he's afraid of.
Yeah.
And what is he afraid of? Well, it's chasing them, and it's a big planet with a big ring around it, and it's got horns, and it is astonishingly Unicron.
Dun dun dun!
This was a big surprise at the time.
Yeah, this is back before we started to expect Unicron a lot.
I can't remember if this was before or after they revealed that there was a Unicron toy coming.
I think at this point we knew,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
I remember one of those things was a huge surprise because, a Unicron toy was one of those things that was batted around as something that was ridiculous and completely impossible.
Yes, because they didn't make one during G1 because he just turned into a ball.
And then one almost came out during Beast Wars Neo but was cancelled. I'm not entirely sure why, but it looked kind of crummy.
Yeah.
It looked a bit overwrought.
Yes.
It looked like a Unicron-shaped figure wearing two halves of a planet on his back.
Yeah, the proportions were not so good. The one we did get is more Unicron-y sized with chunks on his legs.
It's really good.
Extra wings.
Yeah, that is, Armada was in general a good toy line, but that Unicron is a real, crowning achievement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That they keep pumping out again and again and again.
That's why they keep making it.
So yeah, they escape this thing. Sideways apologizes, tells them not to tell anybody about it, and they just go back. Possibly thanks to Red Alert?
Don't tell any of the grown-ups about what just happened here. That's totally legit.
I think it's
Don't tell them about my cyber van, kids.
I think it's more thanks to Fred because he points out, hey, look at the laptop's messed up. Because everybody else is just standing in a line. All the Transformers just standing in a line. What's the problem? I don't know. I think everyone's a weird color.
Wait, how did they get information out of the laptop if the virus wiped the drives?
That is a very good question. They didn't.
Maybe the virus didn't wipe the drives. Maybe Alexa was just misconstruing what was going on.
Yeah.
To, be something rational that might have actually been happening rather than what was actually happening, which made no sense. And
Maybe Red Alert had a file recovery tool and it deleted everything, but it didn't actually, do the cryptographic, let's wipe with random ones and zeros to make it unrecoverable, so they're just like, oh, we'll restore all this from the recycle bin. Okay, that's what's going on.
Fair enough.
The rest of Sideways' plan seemed that incompetent, so...
True. It was not a good plan.
So the kids wake up, they find out that, everybody's fine, except Red Alert tells them, unfortunately, Laserbeak did not survive. Oh, here he is.
Yeah, what the hell is with that?
Oh my god, he's the biggest jerk.
Did they just not check to see if he was dead and not bring his body back or anything?
I assumed that Red Alert
was them?
Screwing with them.
I guess, but...
And that's how I read that scene, was Red Alert was just screwing with them.
Or, I'm sorry he died, but we built you a new one.
Yeah, but it's weird that, the way it's delivered, it's like they were translating and having the dub actors say it live. I was like, oh, Laserbeak's dead. Oh shit, he's back in the next frame. Never mind.
Ha ha ha, I was just kidding, kids.
Haha, your friend's not
okay.
dead. But look at your faces.
Man.
And, but everybody has a big end of Super Friends laugh. But they're still wondering, what was that, sinister evil force?
That they seem to have half forgotten, which is weird.
Yes.
And Rad closes with saying, sometimes he can't believe this wasn't all just a dream. Which, it basically was, down to the plot of, oh, this is all in our heads, therefore we can do whatever we want and you have no control.
Yeah,
and
it was just a cyber dream.
And B, what is with Rad randomly narrating in the past tense?
It's Wonder Years. The show is actually...
Daniel Stern, or Daniel Stern's non-union Canadian equivalent. And, that is Chase, which, unfortunately, despite the title, was not about the police car from Rescue Bots.
Aw, or any throttle bots at all.
Or that Giorgio Moroder music from Midnight Express.
Or Chip Chase.
Aw?
Or a rare toy.
Or
it was
Chase
not.
Meridian, Nicole Kidman from Batman Forever.
Oh.
So after this, Unicron would become an increasingly big part of Armada, up to the point where the show was subtitled The Unicron Battles.
And at one point, one of the Minicons speaks long enough to deliver the terrifying line, Unicron is scary, Unicron will destroy space. It's just like, that's more than a little scary, kid. That's horrifying.
Yep.
Destroy space?
So the animation is not great, the voice acting is unenthusiastic, and the show did get better as it went on.
Bits of the animation are good, like the few moments early in the episode when the Autobots and Decepticons were sort of not fighting.
Yeah.
But since the entire episode focused on the kids and the animation was cheap.
Yes. But probably the most frustrating thing about Armada is that the show is mediocre, but the toy line was so good.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, a lot of my headcanons that I tout so much were, inspired by actual things. The comic series was pretty good up until they put Simon Furman on it and then just told him to do random G1 stuff. There was some really ugly editorial meddling there, in the late part of the series. But the whole concept of the Minicons had so much potential that was just not used.
Not in the show. For the toys, oh, so much fun with minicons.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I am predisposed to like tiny Transformers, but the minicons are legitimately very good.
Yes.
Yeah, because
the short version of my headcanon for the minicons was that they were basically as a race that universe's equivalent of the Matrix. But like movie style, or not movie style, like comic style. So basically each of them had a little bit of Primus's soul in them.
Oh yeah, I could have. But as toys, they're
and that was why they powered the others up.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense. But as toys, they're just so fun because is it the only one line where like the gimmick is in every toy and so integral to every toy?
I think so. I
was noticing that with Energon that, it did not span the entire line.
No, I think only the Autobots had the power linking thing, and only some of them had it.
Yeah.
Gay. It's pretty gay.
Yeah, I don't think any of the basics had. I think the basics had Energon weapons instead.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's the
and none of the bigger, the Ultra or Leaders had it either.
No.
And none of the Decepticons had anything.
I think every Cybertron thing had a Cybertron key, but that's
true.
That's
that's
less of a gimmick feature. That's just, instead of pressing a button or sticking a minicon on it, here, stick this transparent piece of plastic in it and it'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although when they re-released stuff originally designed in Armada during that, they retooled it to require using the key for stuff too. So they definitely were committed to it. It's just, it wasn't a very good gimmick.
No.
Not as much fun as the minicuts. Cause like in the Titan Masters line now, I think everything sort of uses the little, or at least has a spot to put the little head guys where they can sit.
Yeah, because there's some of the smaller guys, like the cassette guys who don't use any Titan Masters, but I guess there are little bits where they can ride it at least.
Right, yeah, so that's the closest thing I can think of to minicons everywhere.
So many minicons.
So many.
Yes.
So many Redecos.
I for a while attempted to be a completist with them, so many minicons. Make it stop.
So you could be a mold completist reasonably easily, but yeah, there was just redecos of redecos, and Japan kept putting out sets of more and more, and the DVD, was it DVD exclusive
and
DVD
ones? Sets, and like sets where each one came, like there was a trio of them, the female ones, which were adorably pink and white, and there was a very cute little comic about, but I think I ended up paying $130 for that set of 3 minicons because each one came with a DVD.
Yeah.
They were just pack-ins with the DVDs, and DVDs are already ridiculously expensive in Japan, so yeah, that was a thing.
And then I think there were some that were only available at like certain Japanese convenience stores.
Yeah, that's still something they try to do every once in a while.
There were like a bunch of clear ones. Actually, I think a lot of the clear ones were like that. And there were just exclusives all over the place in Japan. Yeah, I had friends who were very bad influences when it came to completism, and so that was. I mean, the good thing about that was when I started going through my collection and selling things, I made a good chunk of money off of, really, really rare minicons.
So yeah, that is Armada. We, as a whole, the show was not great, the toyline was great, but it made money like crazy for Hasbro.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Which is good. Actually, I thought of something that didn't come up last week when we were talking about Robots in Disguise, was that I recall part of the issue with Hasbro being in trouble financially at that point was because they had poured so much into the Phantom Menace.
Oh.
Oh, right.
Well, that makes sense. There were a lot of those, boss NASs hanging around for a couple of years.
Yeah, that was, I heard that was part of why Hasbro as a company was struggling at that point. And yeah, at this point they were still kind of, not in the best shape, but they were getting better. And yeah, Transformers was something that ended up, I think around this point was when they started actually focusing more on their in-house, their own brands instead of the Phantom Menace.
Mm. I seem to recall their subsequent Star Wars prequel lines were less extensive.
Yeah. I did notice with The Force Awakens, it really felt like a lot of, I realize Hasbro is even barely a licensee at this point because, they are owned in part by Lucasfilm now. But I noticed that a lot of licensees hedged their bets by putting out piles of original trilogy stuff alongside or even instead of the Force Awakens stuff.
And yet we still got Constable Zuvio.
Did indeed.
That's just the weirdest thing.
They have not learned their lesson. The lesson. I mean, admittedly, I short of turning this into the Star Wars action figure podcast, I imagine that they were tasked at that point with putting out things that would not be spoilers.
Yes.
And man, Constable Zuvio is not a spoiler.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a negative spoiler.
It's absolutely not a spoiler.
I do want to kind of mention two of my favorite, more esoteric things to come out of Armada. One, the pack-in comics from the toys, or more specifically, the so bad people wrote a parody of it Jam comic.
Oh,
Yes.
Jam. Yeah. Those comics were cute, but yeah, they were not great, because they were trying to condense a lot into a little space, and it just became Yum Jam.
Well, because
They
they
were
were
produced
they
by,
trilingual?
Yes, they were trilingual.
Yeah, that didn't.
Yes. So that was part of the problem, was that the speech bubbles were huge. But yeah, they were
And they
produced
were
by
working on a
Conway.
mini comic format.
Yes. It's not,
And also-
didn't go well.
A video game studio named Melbourne's House, being published by Atari, put out a Transformers Armada game that came out right as the series was coming to a close.
Oh yeah, that game.
And it was actually really good.
I
Yeah.
have not played it, but I hear good things.
Yep. It's fun. You can play as, I want to say Optimus, Hotshot, and Red Alert. And
Yeah.
they give you reasons to transform while you're getting around, and reasons to collect different mini-cons while give you different powers. And one of the levels has you fighting through a Decepticon-controlled battleship, and then at the end you get dumped out onto a beach, and it turns into Tidal Wave, and you have to fight the entire battleship.
Yeah. One of the levels is Tidal Wave.
Neat.
It's pretty great.
And this was like before Shadow of the Colossus came out, and they were doing really cool stuff with scale like that, so.
Yeah.
Kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah. I'm sure the primary reason it was underappreciated was because it was Armada and not, G1, but.
So yeah, that is Armada. But don't worry, we'll be back next week, and we are going from bad to worse.
Oh dear.
We are going to Absolute Pants.
Oh, man.
It's bad. So bad.
Is Transformers Energon easily the worst television show ever given the Transformers name?
Yeah.
And we'll be watching it for you, dear listeners, so please, thank us.
I mean, it won't be quite like Chris McFeely, who watched the entire series for the wiki.
Well, no, I mean, we're not willing to descend into gibbering madness here.
Yeah.
But, until then, you can find us all over the internet. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and we're on Tumblr.
And we are hosted by iaconunderground.net, where we have a Patreon set up to help support our hosting fees for this and our news podcast, Iacon Underground Radio. That is available at patreon.com/iaconunderground.
And you can find us both on iTunes and on Google Play, wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. And wherever you do, please rate and review us. And, if you want to tell us about your experiences with Armada or any other entry in the Unicron trilogy, write into the Max mailbag at stasispodcast@gmail.com. So, Until next time, when we are imprisoned by terrible animation, I'm Rob.
I'm Jen.
Why my shoulders hurt.
Goodbye.
I think between that and a certain anime, I've started like the 3-episode rule of giving something 3 episodes, because I found often 3 episodes, like at the end of the 3rd episode, something
in anime, something big will happen usually, and it will affect how you feel about continuing, especially murdering people.
Referring to Madoka Magica, which has a massive mood shift at the end of the 3rd episode that basically is when the show really becomes what it is.
Yeah. Well, a lot of shows kind of do that, or it becomes more important. And 3rd episode is like, somebody dies in a lot of shows. Or
and that with Breaking Bad was where he had the guy in the basement, and the guy's like all warmed up to him, and he's like, it's gonna be okay, and then he realizes that the guy took a shard of the broken plate and is gonna fucking shiv him. I was like, yes, I approve of the show now. It's not gonna be about how this guy is really okay, it's going to be about how this guy is really okay, but also he will fucking shank you. Because that's the thing, is I assumed that nothing he was saying was a lie. That, he was actually all of that stuff. It's just that then he would also just turn around and shank him. Because people are fucking complicated.
Well, AMC originally wanted Matthew Broderick to play the lead.
Oh, that would have been so horrible.
I sometimes like Matthew Broderick in things.
Name a Matthew Broderick thing you have liked in the last 20 years.
He was good on 30 Rock.
Comedy, okay.
Guest spots.
Okay, I am in The Office. I have Noodles.
How long ago was The Producers? Not that I actually saw it, but I've heard enough good things about it.
That was less than 20 years ago.
That might have been like 15.
Going on 15 at this point, though.
Grab my water bottle. But yeah, I am prepared.